Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a quick preview here of Drive and some of the other apps you'd have. So you go to Google here. You could go to any Google site if you wanted to. You could go to drive.google.com. You could do that. But just saying here Google is fine. Things I want to point out is that here, that little menu with the squares, that's actually your apps menu. So if you click on that, you'll get options for apps, and then you'll have even more and even more. So this is all the Google apps we have available for us. Some of them are going to be more pertinent than others. Some of them aren't going to be useful for us, but you do have a bevy of things that you can use here. So if you go ahead and log in using your Google Apps for Education account, okay, now you'll see it'll say plus your name. Now you'll see with mine I've got a picture icon. That's because I set up my Google Plus profile. So if that's something you wish to do, that's something you can. So you have the notifications here. That's also for if you have your Plus account set up. This is your Google Plus, Google Search, Mail. This is Google Drive. Calendars is really cool. Sites is awesome. Something I learned doing the Rockstar session this past 3 days is that anything you create in Drive can actually be embedded on your Google site. So what that means is you could create a website, and every document, every slideshow, spreadsheet, anything that is a Google Doc in Drive, you could actually embed and have it so it's a live form right there in the site. So that's pretty awesome. You have groups, contacts, so on. So let's go ahead and go into Drive. And you'll see that it always goes to the place that you first defaulted in. And if you see, I've got a ton of stuff. I've got my Q Rockstar notes. I've got a few other things here. Now, on this side right here, you have basically all of your where things are stored at. So my Drive, that's stuff that I create or that I create shortcuts to. So if you look over here, you see owner. There's some things that are not owned by me that I've got in my Drive, and I was able to do that. I'll show you how. If I go shared with me, let's say I wanted to share something like I'll just pick one. If I wanted to see the Common Core testing from 7th grade math. Now, since I technically already have access to this, but I'll just show you. You don't check it here. What you're going to do is you're going to mouse over right over the text. You're going to click it and hold the click. Now when you drag that, and it's this pretty cool screencasting device that shows the drag. I'm still holding the click. And then you're going to hover it right over my Drive. Now if you want to, I believe you could pick a folder to place that in. But I would just go ahead and drop that into my Drive. Anything that's ever shared with you, if you drop it into my Drive, you will then, and I did not do that because I don't really want to do that. It will then, when you log in, it'll default here. Another good place to do is the recent. The recent will show you what you've opened most recently, obviously. And then you also have starred. Starred is anything that you have that that you want access to. Like this is Gabrielle Smith. She's another tech coach from another district, and we're doing a brainstorm on a digital citizenship thing. So I could click on that very quickly. So, and I haven't figured out how to switch tabs, so I'll move on from there. So actually, here you could create. Before I get there. So over here you have some visuals here. This right here you could switch to list view or to thumbnail view. So some of you more visual people might like this thumbnail view. I personally do not. I prefer the actual list view. I want to see more. This information tool is pretty cool. If you click on that, it shows you what activity is happening on your account. So since I have pretty much the entire stuff in underneath my Drive, I can see when anybody's ever added something. I could see what they've done and edited. So if you're working with your folder, um, uh, you could hit that information tab, and that will show you. Um, it'll give you the information on whether those um, anybody's working on it. So if somebody's working on something today, I could click on it and I could find people that way. Then on the settings wheel, you have the display density. You can make it so it's comfortable, so it just spreads it out a little bit more. You could do compact, so they're all really close together. That's actually my preference. Again, I want to see as much as I can. And then you can do cozy. So you have some settings here, upload settings, manage apps. The keyboard shortcuts is really cool to do. Any wall and drive, if you do these things. So if you hit the shift button plus O, it's going to automatically create a form for you. If you do shift F, it'll create a folder for you. So it's very very neat to be able to learn that. I always recommend any application you learn figuring those things out. Other thing I want to point out is upload settings. PDF files I rarely convert. Basically what it'll do is it'll make a picture file, a JPEG file, and put that into your doc. So it's not really editable. It just makes it so you have something that you can do some sort of editing and maybe put a text box on it or something. So I just, if I decide I want to convert it, I'll do it after. I just don't default that way. So if you click this one, confirm settings before each upload, what that'll do is if you upload a document, whether Word file, PowerPoint, etc., Excel spreadsheet, it'll say, do you want to convert this into a Google Doc? And as you get more experience with this, you'll get to know which ones will convert well and which ones will not like the Google Doc format. Now, I will say that I've been using this for about 4 years now. And the first experience is, oh my gosh, you can't do this, or this with the Google format. Well, you can learn to adapt to do similar things that are just as effective in those Google formats. But a couple of things that are definitely like not able to do on Excel, you could choose whether to do horizontal or vertical writing. Google Docs will not allow you to do that. On Excel, you could do multiple colors per one of the cells, and on Google Sheets, you can't. The funny thing is, on Google Docs, if you create a table, it'll allow you to do the multiple colors per cell, but then you can't merge cells. You can only merge cells as sheets. So you have a couple issues like that that are kind of weird, but they're all, you could get around it for the most part. So that's that. So if you create a folder, this is something I like to show you guys. Now, if you want to create a folder so it's just for you, do that in your drive. Don't go into your PLC folder. You can name it. And let's say you just want to share that folder with maybe 2 people, and maybe it's for like Avid or something, and you don't want to share it with 2 PLCs. So you could go in here, check it, and then you have these options come up. So this is move to, you can move to a different folder, you can delete it, more, you could do all these items. But this person with the plus, that's the share button. So you can click on that. Once you do that, you have your share options pop up, and it says private. Well, if you want only you to access, then you have to change this. So you can make it public on the web, anyone who has a link, Early Mark Middle School District, people with our district can find it, or people with Early Mark with the link. With these two, that means they have to sign in first to prove that they're from it. I usually like to do anyone with the link, or even public, just because that's how I like to do it. But if I were to name somebody in here, let's say I named M. Ramirez at apps.earlymark.org, I send that, what that's going to do is it's going to say specific people can access. Now I can say, what can Mr. Ramirez do? Can he edit? Is he the owner, or can he just look at it? And on a lot of them too, like if you're not talking about just a folder, if you're talking about the actual docs, you can give them comment permissions too. So they can view it, they can right-click comment on it, so that way they give you some feedback in that manner. But it won't actually edit the doc itself. So this was just a play folder, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And yeah, that's just a little overview of Google Drive. As far as the layout, I know some people wanted that. I'm also using a Chrome-based screencast that I've never used before called Screencastify. So the middle school is getting a bunch of Chromebooks. Those, if you have your own personal Chromebook, it's a super easy way to create a screencast. It's an extension. You hit the little 3-line menu at the top right-hand side. They call it the hamburger or hot dog menu, something like that. And once you're in there, you go to Tools, Extensions, and type in Screencastify. And it adds an extension that allows you to record and put the little picture on the bottom right side all at the same time. The way I've done that in the past, I have to put it post-production to iMovie and do it that way. So I hope this was informative. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to look at over the summer. I plan on just making some on whim and see how it goes. All right, hope you guys have a good summer.